Hello everyone, welcome to the second part of this video. My name is Yugo MIyamoto. I'm the head of Cultural Development, Corporate HR and Kaizen Function, Abdul Latif Jameel. I hope you've all enjoyed the videos of our shareholders talking about their understanding of Kaizen and their commitment towards developing a Kaizen culture here at Abdul Latif Jameel. In this chapter, I'd like to talk about why Kaizen is so important for all of us and how we can apply Kaizen at work. Why do we need to learn about Kaizen? It all starts with our founder and his vision, which is grounded in the culture of Kaizen. Our late founder, Sheikh Abdul Latif Jameel, said, "We are simply a company that cares for society and works in the same way as Toyota." As we all know, Toyota is synonymous with Kaizen. Our founder, after observing Toyota, after visiting Toyota so many times, he learned that much of their success was due to how they developed their associates through Kaizen. Therefore, he wanted to bring the culture of Kaizen here to Abdul Latif Jameel. That is why Kaizen is one of the 4 pillars of the Jameel principles which guide the way that we work together. When you heard our founder and chairman say, Toyota, what went through your mind, honestly? Toyota, Kaizen, too meticulous, demands insane discipline. We're not Toyota. We're not in manufacturing. We're different from the Japanese, and we subconsciously dismiss the vision and decide it's not for us. But should we? The concept of Kaizen is grossly misunderstood. This is because Kaizen was introduced to us through meticulous tools and the essence was never explained. This has led to a misunderstanding that Kaizen is a technical skill and it is only applicable for junior staff members and frontline workers. But this isn't the true meaning of Kaizen. We can understand the true meaning of Kaizen through examining how Toyota implements Kaizen. What I'm about to explain is the core essence of Kaizen, the core essence of Toyota's strength. Ideally, all associates should be fully informed of the company vision. It is the company's responsibility to make sure that all associates understand the direction that the company is heading towards. As a result, all associates all understand, all know where the company is heading, what the company wants to achieve, and the challenges that lie ahead. This is the prerequisite of Kaizen. Then all associates are empowered to set their own ambitious goals within their own responsible areas that contribute to the company vision. The key word here is empowerment. Our associates should be empowered to set their own ambitious goals. Of course, there's a gap between the goal and the current state. This is identified as the challenge. Associates continue to be empowered to try out new ideas, new approaches, until they reach the goal that they had set for themselves. This is Kaizen. Kaizen means to improve the current situation to a better situation. This is done through empowering associates to set their own ambitious goals that are in line with the company vision. Empowering associates to try and fail and to continuously strive towards their goals until they succeed. It should be clear now that Kaizen is not only for junior associates. It is not only applicable for Toyota, it is not only applicable for Japanese companies, and it is not only applicable for manufacturing. It is universal, and it is applicable to all levels of a company. Now, if you can imagine, if all 11,000 associates at Abdul Latif Jameel are empowered to set their own challenging goals and striving to achieve them, all in line with the company vision, no matter how small each improvement may be, no matter how small each step may be, collectively it will create continuous and substantial progress for the company. This must have been our founder's vision. In order for us to conduct Kaizen and make the Jameel principles our way of life, the role of the manager is critical. Managers need to be coaches, not bosses. Bosses instruct associates what to do. They tell them, do this, do that. They don't tell their associates why they are asking them to do so. They treat associates as tools, not allowing them to exercise their ability to think. They are not benefiting from their ingenuity. Now, coaches on the other side share with associates the company vision. They discuss and guide associates to set their own challenging goals, all in line with the company vision. Coaches should be patient. Coaches empower their associates to achieve their goals. They monitor associates carefully and guide the associates whenever they need help. They appreciate learnings from mistakes and celebrate achievements. At the same time, coaches give the same assignments to themselves and start thinking about the assignments for themselves. Through Kaizen, you will see our values, our respect for associates, and empowerment in action. Managers play a key role in ensuring that the Jameel principles and Kaizen culture take root here at Abdul Latif Jameel. Up to here, I've explained how Kaizen is aligned with our cultural vision and why Kaizen is so important for us. Now, let me explain how to Kaizen. First of all, it is important to understand that there are two types of Kaizen. One is problem solving. The other is vision management. They both follow the same approach of trial and error to bring the current situation to a better situation. The main difference between the two is whether the challenge is apparent or not. For problem solving, we already know what the standard situation should be. So if we're not meeting the ideal situation, the gap is clear, the problem is clear. So we need to fix it. Let's take an example. We should always make payments to our vendors before the deadline. If we miss it, we have a problem. The standard is the payment by the deadline. The current situation is that we have delayed it by, say, 5 days. So the gap is quantified by 5 days. So we need to bridge the gap. On the other hand, in the case of vision management, the ideal situation is not evident. You'll have to create, you have to define your own ideal situation. You have to create the gap between the current situation and the ideal situation. This is the reason why vision management is more difficult than problem solving, and therefore it is more suitable for managers. Managers will have to create their own vision. They'll have to create their own ideal situation that are all in line with the company vision. Imagine you're the head of a division. Your goal is to create a vibrant organization for your associates. So you conduct associate engagement surveys, you gauge yourself, you compare your scores against other divisions and find out that you are in the top group. But you don't rest there. You set your own vision to become number one by far. That is your contribution to the company. This is vision management. Once you have set your bold vision of becoming associate engagement number one by far, that's when you start your journey of trial and error to bring the current situation towards the vision that you had set for yourself. Now, in the next part, we would like to explain how to bring the current situation towards the ideal situation. There are basically 8 steps. This is an overview for the 8 steps of Kaizen. We'll take you through the steps one by one using actual examples in the next video. So here in this section, we'll keep the explanation at high level. Step 1, clarify the problem. When we use the word problem, it shouldn't be taken negatively. We should be excited whenever we identify problems because they are opportunities to improve. Step 2, break down the problem and choose the one that has the biggest impact. Step 3, target setting. Set a target for the problem that you chose. The target should be quantifiable as much as possible. Step number 4, root cause analysis. We need to ask ourselves, why does this problem exist? If we think, we realize, aha, it's because of X. Then next we ask the question, why does X exist? It's because of Y. Then we ask another question, why does Y exist? Then we realize it's because of Z. And we keep on asking why, until we reach a point that we understand the root cause of the problem. We have to keep on pushing ourselves to keep on asking why, until we reach this point that we have touched the root cause. We should remind ourselves that what we can understand sitting at the desk, we should remind ourselves that doing this at the desk, there's a limitation. So we need to always be conscious of visiting the site where the problem is occurring and talk to the people that are involved in the operation. This is called Genchi Genbutsu. Genchi means actual site. Genbutsu means actual thing. We encourage all associates to conduct Genchi Genbutsu in order to understand the real problem. Step 5. Develop countermeasures. Develop countermeasures and decide on the one to be implemented. Plan what is to be done and by when. Step 6. See countermeasures through. Then execute the action plan. Never give up until you have reached the goal. Step 7. Evaluate both results and processes. Evaluate whether the target has been achieved or not, and find the reasons behind any failure, and find better ways. And finally, step 8. Standardize the process. Develop SOPs and implement and make sure that your countermeasure stick. Also, make sure that you share your success with others who are facing similar challenges. As you may remember, we chose one prioritized problem in order to bring the current situation towards the ideal situation. Once we have tackled that, we move on to the next one, to the next one, to the next one, until we have brought the current situation towards the ideal situation. This may seem like a lot of effort, but this is the surest way to bring the current situation to an ideal situation. This is the surest way to Kaizen. Finally, let's review the key elements for successful Kaizen. The Kaizen cycle will never start if we believe that everything is fine. Look at things critically. Always be conscious of the ultimate goal of the work that you are engaging in. Don't get buried in the daily work. Judge based on facts. Don't presume. Use quantifiable data. Conduct Genchi Genbutsu to not only understand the problem, but also to check your hypothesis. Genchi Genbutsu is not only about going to the site. Without a hypothesis, it's only sightseeing. You need to have a hypothesis before you visit the site, and you need to check whether your hypothesis was true or not by visiting the site. Kaizen is about trial and error. Mistakes and errors, not a problem, as long as we are learning from those. Positive and proactive communication. You need to continuously share the progress with the key stakeholders. This is a very, very crucial element for success. Elevate your success into a simple system so that it can be followed easily. Develop standard operating procedures so that others can follow. Share best practices. Don't keep your success to yourselves. Share your success with others so that others can benefit from your efforts. If I can leave you with one thought, if you understood that Kaizen can enable you to solve the problems one by one and make today better than yesterday, tomorrow than today, then you have actually grasped the core essence of Kaizen. Thank you very much for joining. I hope you enjoyed the journey. I hope you learned what Kaizen is all about. I've only touched the surface of Kaizen here in my video. In the next chapter, we'll go into the details of each of the steps, the 8 steps that I covered. Thank you very much for joining. I wish you good luck